The Cursed Shrine of Aokigahara. Prologue. The Missing Hiker. It was supposed to be an ordinary hiking trip. Aokigahara, the dense forest at the base of Mount Fuji, known as the Sea of Trees, had always intrigued me with its mysterious reputation. My friend, Kaito, was an experienced hiker, but when he vanished without a trace, leaving behind only a cryptic voicemail filled with distorted whispers, I knew something was terribly wrong. Don't come looking for me. It's not the forest, it's what's inside. That was the last thing he ever said. 3 days later, I found myself standing at the edge of Aokigahara, the air thick with an unfamiliar weight. I clutched Kaito's old journal, its leather cover cracked and brittle, the faint smell of mold and dust mingling with the scent of damp earth. The pages were yellowed with age, filled with frantic scribbles and dark stains that looked unsettlingly like dried blood. I should have turned back. But curiosity is its own kind of curse. Chapter 1. Into the Sea of Trees. The forest swallowed sound. My footsteps were muffled by the thick moss and fallen leaves. The deeper I ventured, the more oppressive the silence became, broken only by the occasional rustle of unseen creatures. The air felt dense, as if it carried memories that didn't belong to me. Shadows seemed to stretch unnaturally, bending toward me when I wasn't looking directly at them. I followed faint traces, a torn piece of Kaito's backpack, faint footprints quickly fading in the soft earth. The compass spun wildly, useless against the magnetic anomalies of the forest. As night fell, the temperature dropped unnaturally fast. That's when I saw it. A forgotten shrine, half buried under thick vines and twisted roots. Its torii gate stood crooked, the sacred ropes frayed and stained dark. The air around it was colder, heavier. Something about the shrine pulled at mean invisible thread wrapped around my mind. Faint whispers brushed against my ears, though no one was there. Chapter 2. The Shrine's Curse. Inside the shrine was a single statue, its features eroded but still vaguely human, with hollow eyes that seemed to follow me. Its mouth was slightly open, as if frozen mid-scream. An old offering box lay overturned, and scattered around it were talismans, faded and torn as if someone had tried to remove them in desperation. Curiosity got the better of me. I reached out to touch the statue. A sharp pain shot through my fingers, like ice cutting through bone. The forest shifted. Suddenly, the trees seemed closer, the shadows darker. Whispers drifted on the wind, incomprehensible yet filled with malice. I stumbled back, heart racing, but something was different. My shadow, it didn't move the same way I did. It lagged, then twitched unnaturally, as if it had a will of its own. Chapter 3. The Haunting begins. I tried to leave, retracing my steps, but the forest refused to let me go. Paths that were once clear now twisted impossibly, leading me back to the shrine again and again. My phone was dead, though I could swear I heard faint static when I held it near the shrine. That night, as I tried to rest against a tree, I saw him. Kaito. He stood just beyond the reach of my flashlight, his body rigid, his face blank. I called out, but he didn't respond. As I approached, he vanished like mist in the morning sun. But his voice remained, echoing in the dark. It follows you now. Chapter 4. The Entity. The next few days blurred together. I was no longer alone. The presence grew stronger, a shadow within the shadows, always at the edge of my vision. I caught glimpses of distorted figures, their faces twisted in eternal screams. I found an old journal near the shrine, half buried under stones. Written in shaky handwriting, it detailed the story of the shrine, a place once used to imprison an ancient spirit, a yurei bound by powerful rituals long forgotten. The villagers had vanished generations ago, their souls claimed by the entity they tried to contain. The last entry chilled me. It feeds on guilt, on sorrow. Once you see it, it never lets go. The only escape is to pass the curse to another. Chapter 5. Descent into Madness. Sleep became impossible. Whenever I closed my eyes, I saw the entity, pale, elongated limbs, empty black eyes, a mouth that stretched too wide, whispering my name. My mind frayed at the edges, blurring the line between reality and nightmare. Kaito appeared again, closer this time, his face now twisted with grief. You can't leave. Not unless... His face melted into a grotesque mask of agony as he dissolved into shadows. I understood. The journal was right. The curse was a chain, passed from one soul to the next. The shrine wasn't a place of worship, it was a trap. And now, I was part of it. Chapter 6. The Final Choice. I reached the edge of the forest, barely able to stand. Freedom was within sight, but the entity was stronger than ever, its whispers now deafening. I saw a group of hikers entering the woods, laughing, unaware of what awaited them. I had a choice. Warn them and remain cursed forever, or let them come closer, pass the curse, and walk free. I turned toward them, my mouth opening as if to speak, but no words came out. Instead, a cold smile spread across my faceone that wasn't entirely mine. Epilogue. The cycle continues. Weeks later, search parties found nothing but an old journal near the shrine, its pages filled with frantic scribbles. It follows you now. A figure watched from the shadows, its smile never fading.